What's going on, guys? Bobby with Consumer Time Capsule, back with another review for you here. And today I'm sweating it out of the capsule because I really wanted to wear an ugly Christmas sweater because that's the theme of the review today. Thanks to Bud Light, Seltzer Ugly Sweater Pack. That's right, on our review of Coors Seltzer, I basically straight up begged any company producing seltzer right now to come out with something truly disruptive, innovative, weird, gimmicky, and Bud Light answered the call almost immediately with an ugly sweater designed mix of 4 different flavors. We've got cranberry, apple crisp, ginger snap, and peppermint patty flavored seltzer. $14.99 at Albertsons. Honestly, I would have paid $44.99 for these because they are unbelievably beautifully designed cans and crazy flavors. This is how it's done right. However, this is also going to be the last alcohol themed review that we're going to be doing here at CTC. It's one of those things where honestly, there are a lot of people that watch the channel that don't drink, but more importantly, there are families that watch this together. And while we don't curse and we try to be as good of an example as 2 dudes shooting food and drink reviews can possibly be, I just don't really feel right about continuing to kind of drink alcohol on camera. So this is going to be the last time, but we're going out with a bang because I'm just skipping right ahead. This is a 10 out of 10 gimmick grade, no doubt about it. This is how to do this right. So let's go out with a really nice one. And of course, Ryan, if you want to take a peek at this, those of you on our Christmas card list have already seen the Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animals Home Alone sweater. And even though it's about, 85, 90 degrees here today in Texas, I was going to wear it anyway. So here are all 4 cans. They all have that slim can design that pretty much every hard seltzer has gone for at this point. We've got apple crisp, cranberry, ginger snap, and peppermint pattie, all with a nice ugly Christmas sweater design, which, I mean, you just gotta love it. I mean, that's just so innovative, so cool. I just really want to thank the folks over at Anheuser-Busch for putting something so special together. This is a really, really cool product. There's a reason why I already skipped ahead and gave it a 10 out of 10 gimmick grade. Let's see if we can get a 10 out of 10 taste grade and make some CTC history here, Ryan. All right, so just to get you in the holiday spirit, we've got some apple crisp. Now, just like with just about any major hard seltzer, it's 5% alcohol by volume, 100 calories per can. Look, 10 milligrams of sodium, 2 grams of carbs, less than a gram of sugar. Really not too bad for you in terms of like drinking alcohol. I mean, this is pretty low calorie, really no sugar.
Smells good.
Smells delicious. It's got that Dutch apple smell.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, tastes good too. Really good. Interesting. Boy, that's just a seltzer you would never expect to taste. Man. They just really, they pulled it off though. You know what it kind of tastes like? And we filmed these a little out of order. So this is kind of a sneak preview of an upcoming review, but it kind of tastes like those caramel, apple, cinnamon, Smart Food popcorn. It kind of tastes like that. Very tasty. Delicious. I love it. Great stuff. Boy, that's setting the bar pretty high. Cranberry, this is one that I've got to imagine some other hard seltzer has attempted cranberry. Somebody's done it, yeah. But not any that I'm familiar with, honestly.
I don't know anyone that have done apple.
Oh, apple yeah, cinnamon? I don't. Yeah, definitely not, and certainly not ginger snap or peppermint pattie. No. And that's why we're saving those till the end. This is the most conventional of the flavors. Likely be a pretty good tasting option. It does smell like cranberry. I mean, cranberry is got to be the #1 alcohol mixer. I don't know why it would be such a lowly regarded seltzer flavor. Not a super strong cranberry flavor. And I'm tasting the alcohol more than I did with the apple crisp. It's always a delicate balance because, seltzer in and of itself is such a thin flavor that you do always run the risk of tasting the alcohol a little bit too much. And I think this one just could have used some more cranberry flavor. I think they could have thrown an extra couple grams of sugar at it, and it probably would have gone a long way. Because I don't know, Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
Not a huge fan. Yeah, me neither.
It's hard to match that apple crisp.
Yeah, doing it alphabetically did inadvertently set the bar pretty high. But, ginger snap could be pretty good.
Yeah. What is a ginger snap? A cookie?
It's like a cookie, but it's I don't know. It's got like ginger nutmeg kind of thing, right?
I think your mom explained it actually.
Well, my mom would be the authority on it. What did she say?
It's a strong ginger. It's the ginger for a gingerbread house because it snaps.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's gingerbread.
So it's basically gingerbread. God, if they called it gingerbread house, that would be 10 times cooler. I don't know what they were thinking by not calling it that. All right. Well, here's ginger snap. See what we got. Cheers.
It's like a cookie.
It does have a gingerbread taste to it. Boy, this one is a strange one.
It's almost like, I feel like it should be a ginger ale, but it's cookie.
It doesn't quite taste like a ginger ale. To me, it tastes more like a ginger beer. Where like that's a little bit more intense of a ginger flavor, whereas a ginger ale is more of like a sweeter taste.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not too sweet.
Definitely not sweet. You gotta give it up. Peppermint Pattie? They made a peppermint patty flavored hard seltzer. That is innovation. That's a gimmick grade of a 10. This is one of the most interesting products we've ever encountered, whether it's delicious, terrible, anything. I mean, it's something I'm glad I bought before I ever even tasted it. So, Ryan, there's your peppermint patty. Cheers. And peppermint patty, that's not even really like a winter Christmas type thing. Like peppermint patties are just like York peppermint patties. That's like all year round thing, right? I mean, they could have called it candy cane or something. I don't know. Some of the flavor names are a little confusing, I guess, but I don't know. Oh boy, they didn't leave out the chocolate. Maybe they should have. It does have a little bit of a minty finish, but it almost tastes like kind of like a Tootsie Roll.
Yes, definitely.
Like,
dude, you nailed it.
There you go. Like if you leave a bunch of Tootsie Rolls, like they do with Jolly Ranchers in Zima, like you just leave it and it starts taking on the Jolly Rancher flavor. If you did that with a hard seltzer and just put a bunch of Tootsie Rolls at the bottom, like it's not an intense Tootsie Roll flavor, but it's apparent. It's a little minty.
It's kind of minty, yeah.
It's really not that bad. Yeah. I thought it might be worse than it is.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit ambitious.
Boy,
I'm impressed.
It's a tough flavor to nail. It does taste like a peppermint patty. I know that oftentimes when we do our name that flavor, what the flavor or whatever, a lot of times we do get close and then just don't get it right or just don't get it right entirely. I feel like if this were a mystery flavor, I would guess peppermint patty. I feel like it's that obvious. Because it starts chocolatey and it finishes minty.
Yeah.
It's a peppermint patty. So
how do they do this?
I don't know how they did it, but boy, just outstanding work. Just in case you're one of the folks that kind of skips ahead to the gimmick grade and the capsule countdown, you missed it. I already called it. It's a 10 out of 10 gimmick grade, and I think that you probably already knew I was going to go there because this is a genius idea. I'm trying to think of a more interesting alcohol that has ever been released in history, and I can't. So I think, in my opinion, this is the most interesting alcoholic beverage ever created.
Wow.
I really do think that. And I take this stuff really seriously. And I do think this is number one on my list. Now, in terms of the capsule countdown, there really are no losers today, but we got to be nitpicky here. The Cranberry actually is my least favorite. I just tasted pretty much seltzer and alcohol with a very, 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 very faint cranberry flavor. I would have liked for those tastes to be flip-flopped and to taste mostly cranberry. I love cranberry flavored stuff. So I would have really appreciated that to be a little better executed. They put so much muscle into the other three being so accurate and delicious that they really limped into what should have been the easiest flavor. So I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. I'm not into the flavor. I just can't see myself going back and drinking it again, but I mean, we're stuck with 3 of them. I think we can swing that.
I wonder if they put the cranberry in there so that people would be like, well, at least there's one.
Right. That's a very astute observation, Ryan. I'm going to say that on mic just in case somebody didn't get it in full. It could be a case where somebody sees cranberry and they're like, at least I'll drink those and that'll be delicious, and then I'll try these other ones with my buddies. I think that could be why they included it.
Because these are men that are going to be
Well,
getting
here's the deal. Maybe. Who knows? I mean,
I'd buy it.
Look, here's what I would do. If you buy these 3, you could take a sip of this, immediately agree with me, pour half a glass of cranberry juice, and pour this into it, and I bet it'll be delicious. I bet it would. Because it just needs more cranberry flavor, and I think it can really do a good job. I really do. But it doesn't have the cranberry flavor on its own merit. So 4th place and 3 out of 10. What, 3.5 out of 10? 3.5 out of 10, that's fine. Now things get a little tricky because I do like all 3. I think Ginger Snap is my 3rd favorite. Oh, okay, so Ryan agrees. I thought you might have gone with Peppermint Pattie. I know what your favorite is. But, okay. So Ginger Snap is coming in 3rd, but I think that they did a really good job. The only thing is I would have liked for it to be more like a ginger ale flavor in terms of its taste, but they really went the accurate route. And it's hard to fault them because it does taste like pretty much gingerbread.
Tastes like a gingerbread cookie?
It does taste like a gingerbread cookie or a gingerbread house, and that is pretty great, but at the same time, we're just grading it on how good it tastes. And because of that, it's held back a little bit. I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. Maybe a 6. I'll give it a 6. Not bad. In the spirit of Christmas, we'll give it a 6. Look, 2nd place, definitely just exceeding expectations to the nth degree, is Peppermint Pattie. I expected it to be borderline offensive, and really very drinkable, very tasty. Great balance of the chocolate and the minty flavor. 7.5 out of 10. 2nd place on today's capsule countdown. Very surprisingly drinkable. Pretty good.
Yeah.
But the winner's got to be Apple Crisp. As I mentioned earlier, starting here was maybe a little unfair taste-wise to the other guys, but we just did it alphabetically, and that's the way things landed. This is a well-executed product. I mean, especially as you smell it and as you're drinking it, it's like you get the apple, you get a little bit of that kind of cinnamon, maybe even a little bit of almost like a caramely kind of finish to it. It's just
whatever Dutch is.
Whatever Dutch apple is, that they figured it out and they put it into a seltzer. Ryan, this is one of the better seltzers out there, don't you think? I mean, on this, Lord knows, just on this channel, we've had just about every new one that's come out from a major brand.
I don't know. What about Pura Still?
Pura Still was still water. That doesn't count.
It's not a seltzer.
It's not a seltzer. This is one of the stronger entries and definitely one of the more innovative ones. Very hard flavor to nail, but they did a great job. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. First place on today's capsule countdown. A very, very, very high recommendation for those of you that are of age to go out and buy the ugly Christmas sweater Bud Light Seltzer because it is delicious. And while we're talking about Anheuser-Busch products, I'm going to show you a from the archives that's only from like 2 months ago. I went to shopbeergear.com, oh boy, and got a 4-pack of pork bone broth by Anheuser-Busch called Dog Brew by Busch. And those of you that have been watching the CTC review really since the beginning know I'm a huge fan of Busch as a brand, as a beer, and this is such a cool can. Ryan, I gave you the pork bone broth for your girlfriend's dog.
Highly recommend.
Really? They liked it.
Dogs
Dog liked it. Okay, so I don't know if it's still available. My strong suspicion is that it's not. It was a 4-pack for $9.99, and it was some kind of a donation to some type of animal-related thing. But really, for me, it was really more about it's
Beer for dogs.
It's actually on the can shelf, so you can't quite see it because it's on the Busch row. Well, that's it, guys. Man, this is really setting a high bar for the rest of the holiday season, but we'll see what we can do. Speaking of holidays, our next review is not on Monday. I mean, we do have one coming up on Monday, but our next review is on Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. We've got a special turkey dinner Brock's candy corn review. With 6 very wild, very crazy flavors. So please stay tuned for that. And of course, until next time, even though it's shorter than usual, I will miss you until I see you.